Wrestling fans, in the spirit of the up-and-coming PLE Premium Live event, the Elimination Chamber, we have decided to give you a look back through history at the first Elimination Chamber to where we are today and how things have changed, not along with the participants, because it started out as just men in the Elimination Chamber. We've seen tag teams. Now we have a women's Elimination Chamber. The rules have also changed from what they originally was. So with that being said, we're going to deep dive into this for you, give you a little history lesson of an Elimination Chamber. And of course, as always, hit that like, share it with your wrestling community, and just, if you want to, ring the bell, become part of the wrestling community here with us as we continue to post wrestling content weekly. With that being said, Elimination Chamber. It was created in 2002 by Triple H and Eric Bischoff. It was a brutality of a steel cage match with chaos of who's next suspense, kind of like the Royal Rumble. In the Elimination Chamber, you know, they go back and forth throughout the pods, and it's kind of a randomized system. So that gives it the aspect of Royal Rumble. It became its own premium live event. It was normally done around Survivor Series or SummerSlam when it first started, but it was also one branded affair. So it would be on Raw or be a SmackDown thing, but now it's a inner good mix of all of it. The rules changed for the first Elimination Chamber back in Survivor Series. So 4 superstars would enter the chamber and be put into individual pods with 2 people starting inside the ring. Every 5 minutes, another superstar would join the match. Elimination occurred by pinfall submission. There was no knockouts, countouts, disqualifications. And originally, the last person to win would be the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, with it being the World Heavyweight Champion, that adds a lot of different aspects to it, because you go in as champion, and if you are last in the pods, good, great. If you're first, you have to go through all other 5 competitors. So it did make a lot of difference back then to be the very toughest, strongest, and have the willingness to make it through all other 5 competitors. Now with the change that the WWE has put in, 2 superstars enter the match, while the remaining 4 are enclosed in glass pods. So that did not change. A designated time, a pod will open in a random, enabling a superstar to enter the match. And of course, it will continue till all the competitors have been released into the Elimination Chamber. A man or woman is eliminated via pinfall and submission. The only thing that has truly changed over the course of the year for the Elimination Chamber is the last man or woman wins a shot majority of the time at a title at WrestleMania. Now, we have seen an Intercontinental been decided. We've seen some tag teams in here. So, of course, there's a lot of good different things that they done with the Elimination Chamber. They made it more of a guess about what was going to be added, because Elimination Chamber was just to put the biggest and baddest, toughest into it and make them compete in a Royal Rumble style steel cage match. Let's just be honest. But the change was good. It really made a big difference into the Attitude Era, into the Ruthless Aggression Era. So with that being said, let's look at some facts that I'm not sure a lot of people truly know about. There has been 8 consecutive entrances to an Elimination Chamber. Those are actually tied between 2 superstars. Those 2 superstars is Jericho and Randy Orton. Now, Randy Orton has the opportunity to change that going into Elimination Chamber this Sunday. He will be entering his 9th Elimination Chamber. and he has a good possibility to win it. Now, when it looks at the winning aspect of the Elimination Chamber, there is a current record held there as well, and that record is held by no other than Triple H. He has won 4 of his Elimination Chambers, currently holds the most wins in Elimination Chamber history. So, with all that great information, we are going to jump in to the Elimination Chamber number 1 all the way to where we stand at today. Our first Elimination Chamber was held at Survivor Series in 2002, and it was actually won by Shawn Michaels. It was his return year. The other participants in this match was Triple H, Chris Jericho, Booker T, Kane, and Rob Van Dam. Shawn Michaels would win this one and become the new World Heavyweight Champion in 2002. There was a lot of good experiments with this one. We got to see what the chamber could and could not withstand, and that's where they decided to go a little wild with it. The next Elimination Chamber was actually won by Triple H in 2003. Now, in 2003, there was a SummerSlam Elimination Chamber, so it varied between which event it went to, but the participants were Chris Jericho, Goldberg, Kevin Nash, Randy Orton, and Shawn Michaels. In this Elimination Chamber, we seen Goldberg put himself into Triple H's pod by kicking it. We seen Kane throw Jericho through a pod, and we also seen Goldberg spear Jericho through a pod. So they were really testing how strong plexiglass was back then, and it did not withstand a grown man being thrown through it, nor did it stand a spear from Goldberg. January 9th, 2005, we seen Triple H win his second Elimination Chamber at New Year's Revolution. He would go on to win the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. In this one, we seen Batista, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Edge, and Randy Orton. So in this, you see a lot of good young competitors. Batista, Jericho, Edge, Randy, they were all getting their wheels spinning in the WWE at that time. This was leaving out, of course, the Attitude Era, pushing in to the ruthless aggression aspect. In 2006, we seen John Cena win the Elimination Chamber. He won this one at New Year's Revolution as well. So it became a running theme of when they were going to have the Elimination Chamber. This one consisted of Carlito, Chris Masters, Kane, Kurt Angle, and Shawn Michaels. John Cena would retain his WWE Championship. And this is where we started seeing some bigger, what the crowd would call holy shit moments, and what the WWE likes to call oh my god moments. In this one, Kurt Angle would come out and hit 3 German suplexes, or he called Angle suplexes, on every competitor in the ring. So he came out like a workhorse and laid everybody out, but of course he did come up short in winning the Elimination Chamber that year. We also had another one in December of 2006. So they had one at the start of the year and at the end of the year, and this was for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. It had Big Show, CM Punk, Hardcore Holly, Rob Van Dam, and Test, and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley would win this to become the new ECW champion. And the big spot in this one is Test would drop a big elbow off of the top of the pod onto RVD, who had a steel chair on top of him. Of course, back then for ECW, that was kind of a lighter aspect, but it did work. In February of 2008, we seen The Undertaker win the Elimination Chamber to become the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania. So this is the first one where we've seen them win a title shot. He would go on to main event WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. This Elimination Chamber consisted of Batista, Big Daddy V, Finlay, MVP, and the Great Khali. And we also seen the Undertaker chokeslam MVP off of the top of a Elimination Chamber pod, and that was the big spot for that one. In February of 2008, Triple H won his third Elimination Chamber and No Way Out. He went up against Chris Jericho, Jeff Hardy, JBL, Shawn Michaels, and Umaga. And Triple H won a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania as well. So, running theme yet again. This is going to be more of a title shot opportunity. In my aspect, when they changed and went from winning the title to giving a title shot, it made it a little more competitive. And it also gave a filler for a match at WrestleMania as well. In 2009, Triple H won his fourth Elimination Chamber match against Edge, Big Show, Jeff Hardy, The Undertaker, and Vladimir Kozlov. He would be the new WWE Championship holder after this one. So we went back to the original routine of who would have the title going forward. So a lot of bouncing back and forth. They didn't know what really worked the best, but they eventually did stick with one, and I think it was for the better. In 2009 as well, we seen another Elimination Chamber, and Edge came out victorious in this one. But prior to the Elimination Chamber, the second one, Edge had lost the first Elimination Chamber he was in. He was on his heel run in 2009. So the original participants were supposed to be John Cena, Chris Jericho, Kane, Mike Knox, Rey Mysterio, and Kofi Kingston. Well, Edge decided he was going to take out Kofi and take his spot, and actually held the pod door shut throughout the whole match because it was never locked. And he went and won the Elimination Chamber, becoming the new World Heavyweight Championship. I don't think we'd actually ever see someone be able to pull that off in that fashion again, but that's why it was the Rated R Superstar who could do it, because he had that aspect of doing whatever he wanted to when he wanted to, and it worked greatly in his favor. In 2010, John Cena would win his second Elimination Chamber match against Sheamus, Kofi, Randy, Ted DiBiase, and Triple H. In this match, you would see a Boston Crab be executed to Kofi Kingston, who was tied up in the Elimination Chamber cage by Ted DiBiase, while Randy Orton gave him multiple sternum kicks. It really took Kofi out of the match when that happened. And after John Cena won the WWE Championship, Vince McMahon did come out and had Batista enter a match with John Cena, and John Cena would actually lose during that match, which would have Batista become the WWE Champion after a hard-fought match for John Cena. This was in the part where John Cena was having to fight for his will against everybody, and Batista was one of them. 2010 February, we're heading into Royal Rumble season. Shawn Michaels did not have a match. He wanted to go up against Taker for the second time. So what did he do? He decided, as Taker was closing out the Elimination Chamber against CM Punk, John Morrison Rey Mysterio and R-Truth. He decided to come in and super kick The Undertaker, giving Chris Jericho the opportunity to win the 2010 Elimination Chamber and becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. Now, The Undertaker was defending the title in this match, so he was looking to go into WrestleMania as World Heavyweight Champion, which did not happen because he got a super kick and had to end up fighting Shawn for the second time at WrestleMania 25 career versus streak. 2011 was won by Edge. He went up against the Big Show, Drew McIntyre, on Drew McIntyre's first run, Kane, Rey Mysterio, and Wade Barrett. In this one, Edge was very dominant throughout the match. It came down between him and Rey. And of course, as you can see there, Rey Mysterio took a massive spear and Edge retained his World Heavyweight Championship. 2011 as well. You see John Cena, CM Punk, John Morrison, Sheamus, Randy Orton, and R-Truth in the Elimination Chamber. John Cena would actually come out and win this one after everyone had beaten him down and what we thought CM Punk was going to win. Somehow, Super Cena was still running free, and he won a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania due to that win. February 19th, 2012, at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, CM Punk would actually win his first Elimination Chamber against Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, R-Truth, and The Miz. CM Punk would attain the WWE Championship here. In 2012, had two Elimination Chambers, one on Raw, one for SmackDown. This was the first multi-brand Elimination Chamber. This one on SmackDown was won by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan took a bad spot in this one. He was powerbombed multiple times by Wade Barrett into the steel of the Elimination Chamber, but somehow still came out to be victorious in the match. 2013, we seen Jack Swagger win the Elimination Chamber. He went up against Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Kane, Mark Henry, and Randy Orton. Jack Swagger would actually win a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 29. In 2014, Randy Orton would win the Elimination Chamber against Cesaro, Christian, Daniel Bryan, John Cena, and Sheamus. This would be Randy's sixth appearance in the Elimination Chamber, and he would actually retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. 2015, we seen our first Tag Team Elimination Chamber. This was very different for the WWE. So you had Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, the Los Matadors, the Ascension, the Lucha Dragons, and Prime Time Players going up against the New Day. So the New Day would win this one for the first Tag Team Elimination Chamber, but Kalisto would climb the Elimination Chamber wall and get on the dead center aspect and just come crashing down from the ceiling. It took out all the competitors. It was the first time we had seen anything like that. But with cruiserweights, lightweight, you're going to see some different things than you would see from the heavyweight division. But it was a good add to the Elimination Chamber. In 2015, we actually seen Ryback win the vacant WWE Intercontinental Champion. He went up against Dolph Ziggler, King Barrett, Mark Henry, R-Truth, and Sheamus, which Intercontinental being defended inside an Elimination Chamber. So there's not always going to be World Heavyweight Championship, a Tag Championship, the Women's Championship, or a match leading to WrestleMania. You could see the United States defended the Intercontinental. It's a good range of aspects to get that point across for the WWE. 2017, the Elimination Chamber was won by Bray Wyatt. The only big spot in this match was that John Cena took a cross body off of the top of the Elimination Chamber pod. Bray Wyatt will become the new WWE Champion at the Elimination Chamber match. The first Women's Elimination Chamber was won by Alexa Bliss in 2018. So there was a difference in the match. It had a new feel. We got to see the Women's Revolution, as they called it at the start of 2017, 2016. We got to see them in steel cages. We got to see Royal Rumbles, Hell in a Cells, and Elimination Chambers. She went up against Bayley, Mandy Rose, Mickie James, Sasha, and Sonya Deville. She would actually retain the WWE Raw Women's Championship. The 2018 Men's Royal Rumble, we seen Braun Strowman, Elias, Finn Balor, John Cena, Seth Rollins, The Miz, and Roman Reigns. As you can see there, Braun Strowman had cleaned house prior to the eliminations beginning. Roman Reigns won the 2018 Men's Royal Rumble, and he got a WWE Universal Championship match at WrestleMania 34. 2019, we've seen our first Women's Tag Team Championship match be done inside the Elimination Chamber. You had Carmella and Naomi, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Nia Jax and Tamina, the Iconics, and the Riot Squad going up against the Boss and Hug Connection. The winners of this one was Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Boss and Hug Connection. So they won the inaugural Women's Tag Team Championship. 2019, we also seen Daniel Bryan win the Elimination Chamber to retain the WWE Championship. He won this one due to Kofi Kingston decided to do a flying crossbody off the top to take out Daniel Bryan to win the WWE Championship, but instead Daniel Bryan countered it with a knee to the face, putting Kofi and Kofi Mania out of the picture just a little bit longer. Of course, we did end up seeing Kofi Mania later. In 2020, we seen another tag team match in the SmackDown division. We seen The Miz and John Morrison go up against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the Heavy Machinery, the Lucha House Party, and the New Day, along with the Usos. So a jam-packed tag division on SmackDown. We seen Miz and John Morrison walk out as winners of the SmackDown's Elimination Chamber tag team match. In 2020 as well, we seen Shayna Baszler make her Elimination Chamber debut. Shayna Baszler would single-handedly eliminate every female women's competitor in the Elimination Chamber and get a Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 36. 2021, we seen Daniel Bryan win his third Elimination Chamber match, going up against Cesaro, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, and Sami Zayn. Daniel Bryan won the Intimate WWE Universal Championship match. So technically, as soon as he won, he automatically got an immediate match. What does that mean? Roman Reigns came out and had a match with Daniel Bryan, and he did not win that match. It was a very different type of match for Daniel Bryan and for the WWE, but Roman came out victorious of that match. Also in 2021, Drew McIntyre won and retained the WWE Championship. Now, this was during the Thunderdome era of wrestling due to the pandemic, so things were different. We seen AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, and Sheamus all compete in the Elimination Chamber and fall short to Drew McIntyre. In 2022, we was in Saudi Arabia in front of a live crowd, and you seen Alexa Bliss, Doudrop, Liv Morgan, Nikki ASH, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair all compete in the women's Raw Elimination Chamber match. Bianca Belair would hit a double KOD to win her first match at WrestleMania 38. In 2022 as well in Saudi Arabia, you would see the men's Elimination Chamber match. You would see Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Riddle, and Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. In this one, Brock Lesnar was an absolute powerhouse. As you can see, he is F5ing Matt Riddle. He also threw Theory across the Elimination Chamber. He took care of just about everyone in this match. He won the... Brock Lesnar would actually become the new WWE Champion in this Elimination Chamber. 2023, the newest and latest Elimination Chamber was won by Asuka. She went up against, of course, Carmella, Liv Morgan, Natalya, Raquel Rodriguez, and Nikki Cross. And Asuka would actually get a title shot for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 39. The men's 2023 Elimination Chamber was won by Austin Theory. This was for the United States Championship. It was Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, Montez Ford, and Seth Rollins. Now, in this one, Montez Ford would climb the wall, get to the center, and basically do a moonsault in the middle of the Elimination Chamber, taking out the competitors. Johnny Gargano done a moonsault as well, which was extremely close to the pod and looked like it was actually going to hurt him just because of the fact that he was so close to hitting it. But he got the right positioning and somehow managed to escape injury. Now, with that being said, the Elimination Chamber is this Saturday. We currently know the men's Elimination Chamber is going to consist of Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton. Out of that field of competitors, there is a great list of WrestleMania headliners. There is also a United States champion. So we could see a push for his future opponent at WrestleMania. We're really hoping to see Randy walk out as the number one contender for Seth, but a lot of people are saying it's going to be Drew just because of what's going on there. Of course, let us know in the comments who you think is going to win, and let us know as well if any of the Elimination Chamber spots that you can remember. That way we can go back and look at them as well. Of course, as always, wrestling fans, we will see you in the next one.